YouTube, what's going on? I know I'm a little late today. I mean, y'all still seeing at the same time. I'm uploading, but it's a little later in the day. I don't know if y'all can notice. Pretty sure y'all don't, but it's all good because nobody watches these videos. But it's cool. I'm still trucking. I just wanted to really talk about something that I kind of always noticed, but I never really paid attention to. So I'm in school and everything, and there's this there's a lot of foreigners at my school. A lot of foreigners that attend my school. Not so much now because obviously the current climate of everything. So we can't physically be at school, but virtually we can. And this guy, one of the students, he posted his assignment online, and you could read all the other students' posts, obviously. So according to the homework, see how well they wrote, see what they wrote about, and what the instructor gave feedback for, or what his feedback was. And the student was saying how he was living in Iceland and how he got accepted to be at my school. My school is AAU, Academy of Art, if you don't know. And they take foreigners, and he had to really put in some time and effort in order for him to obviously like get noticed and be, on their radar, because he was looking at some other schools and his advisors were looking at some other schools that really wasn't up to par, really wasn't what he wanted. And because he wanted to go on a scholarship, a soccer scholarship. And a lot of American schools either don't take foreigners, or they're so, high in rank that you have to be like here. Obviously, you got to be American, and you have to get like a full ride scholarship. I don't know specifically how the scholarships work for sports and foreigners, but he didn't have that type. You know what I'm saying? Because there's the D League. I know that's basketball, but there's certain tiers of professionalism in sports that you have to be able to perform at in order to get a scholarship. But if you're a foreigner, I don't believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, whatever, that they have those types of tiers in other countries, because it's a different country, obviously. So you're not ranked as an American in another country. So you'd have to find a different way, or you'd have to be accepted in a lower tier of sport. And that's how he got accepted. But it was looking for a while that he wasn't going to get accepted. And my whole point to this video, I know I go a little deep and I go a little long, but is that he was desperate to be here. And that's a lot of people in the world. There's a lot of motherfuckers who want what you have. If you're American, obviously most people who watch my channel, if anybody does at all, are Americans, because I don't have that reach right now. My channel doesn't have a lot of reach. But if you're American, there's people out there who would trade places with you in a heartbeat. There's people out there that would trade places with you for their own loved ones, for they'll sign away their lives to be an American. And that just kind of taught me, or not taught me, but just made me realize, man, like, we got to get desperate. It's okay to be desperate sometimes. It's to get what you want. I'm not talking about relationships and people, because that's a different kind of mind state. That's a different kind of perspective. You can't force anybody to love you. And if you're trying to force somebody to love you, 9 times out of 10, it sort of means you don't really love yourself and you're not comfortable with yourself. It's another video. But side note, yeah, you might want to start working on yourself and love yourself first before you start running after somebody else. But anyway, we got to get desperate, and that's one thing that I pretty much lack, I would say, is just getting desperate sometimes. Because sometimes I'd be like, yeah, I'll get to it, or it'll happen, without really, doing much or doing as much as I could. And it doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen a lot. Because there's only so much you can do. I get it. There's only so much you can do in a day. There's only so many auditions I can submit to. I don't know what your career is or what your challenges are or where you're trying to go in life. But I get it. There's only so much you can do. But there's also things that you can do outside of the things that you already do. You know what I mean? That's getting hungry. That's getting hungry, man. Like, I know a lot of people want to, we say, oh, just grind, no sleep, no sleep, no sleep. I get that. I don't agree with that. Because I wouldn't put myself in harm's way, or I wouldn't do anything that's detrimental to my health. My health is number one. That's just going to be it for the rest of my life. I'm not going to put anything above my health. I'm not going to put anything that, I'm not going to jeopardize my health. Hey, that's just me. That's my opinion. But if that's what you're going to do, that's cool. But as far as desperation, as far as getting hungry, as far as grinding goes, you got to have that. You got to have that motivation. You got to have that drive, You got to have that sometimes. I mean, most times until you get what you want. And I'm just saying, if you're desperate for something, it's okay, because that's how bad you want it. You know what I mean? And that's my point. Like, sometimes I feel like I don't want it bad enough. You know what I mean? And sometimes I feel like I'm slacking on some things. I'm just being real, just being honest. Always chilling. Like, we always want to chill. We always want to just chill and not do anything. But sometimes you got to make it work. You got to put in that effort. You got to put in that hard work to move that needle, man. To move that scale. To move that rock. To move that boulder. To get something. Get something going. Get something happening. Sometimes you gotta make it happen. We gotta make it happen. But I'm rambling. I appreciate you guys watching, as always. It's okay to get desperate, man. It's okay to be desperate. Let's be a little desperate about what we want. You know what I mean? Let's get desperate somehow. Let's, find a way to be desperate. Find a way to get hungry. I mean, what would it be like if you got the thing that you want? How does that look? If it ain't that important to you, then why do you want it? You know what I mean? If you ain't hungry enough, if you ain't desperate for it, then why is it your want? Damn, I'm just throwing downs right now. I'm asking myself this. You know what I mean? If you ain't desperate for it, then how do you expect to get it? Sound like Eric Thomas and shit. But all right, man. Just wanted to throw that at y'all. I appreciate it. Oh, that's the name of the next door. Sometimes our doors are closed by. Anyway, all right. One take.